The past 10 years represent the climax of the last cycle of a multi-billion-year mission to liberate Earth and the surrounding galaxy from dark forces. This decade will be a transition from a suppressed, caveman state of existence to a super-advanced reality characterized by abundance, health, and spiritual evolution. Prominent positive changes and developments are a result of the efforts of the good guys, those being King Smarty, his crew, the Jedi, and the angelic and galactic forces known as the Light Brigade. Here's to those working for the light, bringing truth, enlightenment, love, healing, helpful and harmonic advances to technology, and exposure to the corrupt, criminal, and often non-human element. Here's to King Smarty and his crew for that, and more, and for the elimination of all the dark ones that are successfully exposed. A physical glass dome that had enclosed our district was removed, preventing entry with an array of traps prepared for those trying to cross the threshold. King Smarty replaced it with an energetic dome or force field. This change allowed the Light Brigade to enter and prevents remaining dark forces from escaping.
Martians are the ones that put the dome over where we're at now, the glass dome that was here, because of their battle on Mars about 2 billion years ago. So the spacecraft that's in Antarctica is 2 billion years old. And then that same group is the ones that put the glass dome over this district after they landed to protect it. Yeah, but then after they did that, then the reptiles came in and used it as a safe haven, if you will, a stronghold. And then, you know, they had all these booby traps, which is why nobody was able to come in until the guy over in Destin woke the fuck up. One of the big key moments was when I opened up the glass dome and replaced it with an energetic one.
With the dome selectively allowing light forces through, humanity's reinforcements are here. The Cabale's attempts at muddying the skies with their drones and reverse-engineered ships to confuse the populace have failed.
You knew me as Jesus, but now you can call me King Smarty.
You already know I've been showing y'all what's coming. All those ships you see in the skies, they belong to us.
The presence of the light forces grew. Many efforts are aimed at ridding the world of the evil and corrupt, rescuing the kidnapped and trafficked. However, there are rules of engagement. To eliminate someone or something, it must be exposed to the people first. Everybody must know what has happened, why, and by who. After the exposure comes the elimination. The source of the Schumann resonance spikes is King Smarty. With the go-ahead from our creator, Source, the consciousness levels of all are raised. This does many things, but it has made people more aware, sharper, and have an easier time understanding the truth of things. It has been happening for at least the past decade. To little surprise, everything is being exposed alongside it.
I think we need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture here, which is what was really going on with Epstein? Because Epstein was more than just a serial pedophile and a pervert. He was an incredibly powerful man who was, by the way, in multiple instances in the files that were just released, talking about his work for Mossad, talking about his work for the Rothschilds.
Trump, I didn't think he would flip to the Jewish side that fast. Like hardcore.
I knew he was a bitch the second time around. I saw he was doing these private little speeches at Jewish events, basically saying he was going to do everything they wanted. So I didn't vote in this last election. His dad gave tons of money to Jewish causes. Trump did.
My father was very friendly with many Jewish people, was honored by Federation. I would go with him to Federation of Jewish Philanthropies and many other things. My father would tell me the most powerful lobby that there is in this country is the Jewish lobby.
There's a call for new editions of the Bible and Quran to carry trigger warnings highlighting anti-Semitic passages, huh? Oh yeah? Let's take a look at the Talmud and do the same thing to them. Gittin 57a. Jesus is in hell being boiled in a pot of poop. Shabbath 116a. Jays must destroy the books of the Christians. Oh, really? And the Yalkut book, 245C, says, the extermination of the Christians is a necessary sacrifice. Yet they want to censor us, huh?
If you want to know why they have redacted pictures of a cutting board, look at the foot sticking out. That's a child. They're prepping to eat. I told you guys, cannibalism was next. I told you they're fucking eating people. Babies.
There has been a long-standing conspiracy theory that Hollywood and the elites harvest the blood of young people and transfuse it in order to reverse age. And now the Epstein files might have revealed that that is in fact true. In this email to Jeffrey Epstein, it says, all you need is a blood transfusion from the pack and you reverse aging. This is where adrenochrome comes into play. It is a real chemical compound found in the blood when the body is in a fight or flight situation. And we know that the kids that were involved in Jeffrey Epstein's network were definitely put into fight or flight. And of course, we've seen Hollywood elites like Chrissy Teigen tweet about how they're going to a party where they're serving up 4-year-old cheese pizza with adrenochrome and, of course, the eye emoji. And according to the FBI code words, cheese stands for little girl and pizza stands for girl. And I think that Hollywood and the elites have been using predictive programming to get us used to this idea. Take Monsters, Inc., for example, where a bunch of monsters go into little kids' rooms to get them to scream, harvest those screams, and then provide energy for the city of monsters.
For the longest time, I was very confused as to how Square Enix went from Final Fantasy VII to whatever the hell this is, Square Enix Pride. Where did this come from and why is it a thing? I covered it multiple times in the past, how much this is being shoved in people's faces, pronouns, she, they. Tell us about why you're crazy. Do you think LGBT is important in the community? No! It's about video games. No one gives a crap. So now we have an answer. Would you believe it if I told you it comes back to Jeffrey Epstein? What would you say if I told you that Epstein was the guy, the patient zero behind starting out the whole trans movement?
Everybody is waking up. Behind the scenes, those aligned with the light have been working on much over the past decade. From allowing light forces onto our planet, from raising the planet's consciousness. This is how things are changing and who is responsible.
Hurricane Melissa destroyed thousands of homes and killed dozens in Jamaica.
A nonprofit with roots in Austin is making sure people have access to clean water while they recover. KVU's Jessica Cha spoke to the founder about the work that they're doing across the world.
We met Moses West back in 2017.
This is something that gives people hope.
At the time, West, a former Army Ranger, just developed a technology that makes water out of thin air.
What you see on a cold glass or a can when you're outside, that's most plentiful in the atmosphere, and the machine condenses it out.
Since then, he's taken this technology and put it into the hands of the people coast to coast.
We've had a system in Philadelphia. We've got a large system operating right now in Texas.
And now it's also in Jamaica. What a lot of these places have in common:
severe drought, extreme weather conditions.
Which is what Jamaica is going through after Hurricane Melissa tore through. The storm destroyed over 100,000 homes and killed at least 45 people.
I was hurt for the people of Jamaica because of the devastation and the damage that happened.
West says the Akapong Maroons, a tribe located in the Jamaica Highlands, bought this machine 7 months before the storm hit to prepare for it. But even that was damaged.
People can't fully understand the magnitude of these storms, and then when the container that contained the water generator toppled over.
But he says the machine is as resilient as the Jamaican people, who have fixed the machine, which is now pumping out 300 to 400 gallons of water a day.
They're making as much water as they can on solar power and storing it up, and they're getting ready to start delivering it to other people outside of their community.
With no way to stop natural disasters, West says he hopes resiliency can spread.
People are going to need a source of water. When the storm goes away, I would love to see this technology be able to pulled out of a building, turned on, and supplying 20,000 people with drinking water.
I built this machine behind me so I can make gasoline for $0 a gallon from plastic waste. Let's go. $14,000 watts total power output.
Believes Zimbabweans are capable of spearheading game-changing, first-of-a-kind innovations that challenge the world's traditional ways of doing things. He said this earlier today when Zimbabwean innovator and inventor Maxwell Chikumbuzo paid a courtesy call showcasing his latest invention of the world's first self-powering vehicles and motorbikes that run just on radio waves.
This is one of Chikumbuzo's groundbreaking innovations. He calls it a self-powering electric vehicle, powered entirely by radio waves. This is the first of its kind in the world. Today, Chikumbuzo paid a courtesy call on President Mnangagwa at the State House in Harare, where he presented his latest inventions.
I'll switch it on so that you can see. I think you can see the battery. It will start to charge itself right now.
The president said such were testament that Zimbabweans were skilled enough to usher leading inventions that defy logic. Chikumbuzo took the opportunity to explain and demonstrate how his latest invention works.
So with this car, you can also use it to power your house. It is a moving generator. When you drive from work back to your home, you can connect your power cable, then you can power your house. It gives you 15 kilowatts power to power your house, and the vehicle itself, it has got 160 kilowatts electric motor, which gives you a torque of about 320 to 380 newton meters of torque. That means it's fast.
The 44-year-old high school dropout was initially offered millions of dollars by the United States of America to stay and continue his work in the country, an offer he refused. The president praised Chikumbuzo's innovation, which include wireless self-powering drones and television sets, among other inventions. The inventor chronicled how himself and his colleague had been poisoned in the United States of America because their idea was challenging traditional ways of thinking. Chikumbuzo's colleague succumbed to the poisoning incident.
With that technology, it violates the laws of energy in thermodynamics and also the first law of energy as well.
So they wanted to arrest him for changing physics.
Yes. Even when we tried to file a patent, they said we were violating the natural laws of physics. So it's not an industrial applicable. We decided to take the trade secret route.
Chikumbuzo says he has partnered a Chinese firm and is working on setting up a plant in Zimbabwe to manufacture and distribute the self-powering electric vehicle. For ZTM Prime, I am Satashi Siwekwaza.
We're going to be talking about the MOVE movement, MOUVE. And JJ is the founder of that. He's the one that's put the concept together. So I'm going to just ask some questions. Everyone is abuzz about it. Everyone wants more info. They want to sign up. They want to get started. So I thought we would give them the overview of what's happening there.
As previously explored before, integrated points that act like a progression system for learning, akin to levels, allows you to gain points for money as usual. The points you gain represent the knowledge and experience you've acquired. The higher your points, the higher the knowledge presented to you. Many of these subjects participants will learn about. We'll teach the history behind those subjects as well. Each level of education on a subject will yield further quizzes and points to be earned. This allows the participant to enhance their knowledge on whichever topic they choose to pursue in gradually increasing levels, paced with your own personal advancement. The Company of Heaven proposes a series of free worldwide family-oriented events designed to provide enjoyment, education, new experiences, and a feeling of community. These events are designed to lift the vibration of all involved, while helping humanity on a global scale.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. This whole place is packed. People everywhere. Company of heaven in the building. Let's go.
Our mission is to help somebody today and spread the love.
Our pilot program is starting in Alabama, eventually going global. It's called Rescue Fruits and Vegetables. This project is a key part of the Help Someone Today campaign, proudly brought to you by the Company of Heaven. Our plan is all about rescuing fresh produce that would otherwise be wasted and connecting it with people who really need it.
King Smarty does more than create worldwide, free events to uplift spirits. He teaches how to manifest. He is the source of information that comes directly from our Creator. He and his crew heals, shields, and eliminates people, places, and things as directed by our Creator.
Before I even knew things, I was in 9 car accidents. Cars were smashed up. I was shot at point blank range because I grew up in the ghetto. No, nothing hit me. Point blank, boom, 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 nothing hit me.
This shit is crazy. Like, you guys know me. I don't think there's anybody here on this show, but this brother here, I am telling you, he's a modern day apostle. And you guys can try it out. Go to his website, download those things for free.
We gonna talk shit together, brother. The fucking king of the universe is in the basement.
And I honestly did not expect all these to come up, but I tell you why they're coming up. See these little green dots? There's one there. These are superfood and fertilizer frequency stickers. Look at this guy. He's huge.
My friend Connie, she has cancer in her back. And Friday, she could not stand up straight.
Like, people were on their deathbed and they were like, okay, I feel better now. I'm like, what? Like, I was like, what's going on here?
So I went to the group. We did a healing, and I seen her Saturday, and she was standing straight up.
Next day, the same call. I was freaking. I said, what is this? And then I stuck around for all those years, and I was like, yeah, this is the real shit.
Jasmine, what'd you do to get banned? What's wrong with you? You trying to be like me and get banned from everywhere? That's all fucked up.
So I put my wine glass on top of that coaster, and like you said, I saw it bubbling up and stuff, and I realized it was purifying my wine. And I've done it with beer too, and it purifies the beer.
I mean, my mind is blown. I mean, I can feel the energy off of these charms.
Crazy, right? Look at this freaking squash. Still producing squash.
Boom! And I hit them with it. And shit just starts changing. But
it was amazing. He was more clear and coherent talking to me than I've heard him ever.
So I put the towel into my dog's water.
Hi, everybody. This is Marie Bananas here. I'm just doing a very quick video.
What the heck is going on right now? This is not my dog.
I got miracles and wonders and ass whoopings. Which one would y'all want to receive first?
I was like, I don't feel like climbing under the car. I zapped her car and my car, and they now run producing steam.
What I've noticed is that I'm not being drawn as much to my vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc that I used to take on a daily basis.
I've seen rainbows with mine too when I wear them all the time.
What the fuck is all this about? Daddy, you got some fucking explaining to do. Don't sit my hand. I quit.
It's better than you being Joe Biden.
No, fuck that nigga.
The food tastes different. It doesn't. It actually tastes better. It really does. And this isn't just for people to understand. It's not a figment of your imagination.
Ever since I've had this here, I've been having vivid dreams.
And I have 2 on because he told me to do the front and the back because I'm his heart. So I have like one in the front and then one in the back.
This one was so vivid. I had to tell someone.
I've been using the hollows to strengthen my back and my muscles.
That happened with my friend and his heart medication.
So things are happening.
It was beautiful. It was like it was a miracle.
So if I told him that was Source's way of telling him how bad that pill was, it was all at once so that he would wake up to it. And ever since then, he's just been using holograms.
Oh my God, that's a cool charm. That's a cool bracelet you have on. Wow. I stayed in there for an hour and a half and talked to him about everything that was going on.
It's great because I did have a lot of people message me about you and said, when are you going to have him back? You should have him back.
Tell them about the frequencies. Tell them to put it in their head and they can start investigating.
Do you understand?
Thank you so much.
Drop it like it's hot.
Thank you. Have a super weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
You.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Have a good day. Bye.
He says you're going to save the planet and you're going to heal my people. our people. I said, is that it? Okay. This has always been a galactic sting operation, and it's becoming more and more evident as we speak. Lots of people all around the world that are in very high positions know what I'm saying is true, and they know that I'm for real. You know, that they should have backed me a long time ago, and they didn't. You know, they're feeling like, damn.
Remorse,
We fucked up. We should have been helping him the whole time. He's been by himself doing all this shit. And we just been watching, sitting here.
In part one, I mentioned how Google said all the shipping containers were apparently for storage space. It's 3 a.m. right now, and clearly it has to do with remodeling, which is fine. But the way they're doing it, and all the tarps they have up, all the guys walking around in yellow vests, it's just kind of bizarre. When I would hear the theories about Walmarts and the tunneling, I used to think it was crazy. But I have noticed a lot of weird stuff around Walmart, and we are living in weird times, so being vigilant, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. Typically don't need security personnel for a remodeling job either, and they seem to take their job pretty serious for a Walmart remodel job.
Fortunately, we do have to expose the fact that they've been eating your children. They've been molesting, kidnapping, eating, sacrificing, draining the blood, drinking the blood, all this nasty shit. That's what they've been doing because they think that is what they call their fountain of youth, right? And the reptiles made them believe that. The reptilians made them believe that shit. Not to mention, you know, if you don't do what the reptiles want you to do, they'll just pop up on you and then slaughter you and eat you and all that shit.
Have you guys seen this 60-minute interview with financial journalist Andrew Sorkin? These two people go into detail about how we're getting ready to see a crash very soon, but they don't explain when or how fast it's going to happen. But I want you to pay attention to the details, y'all. Pay attention. Check this out.
Do you think that we will have a crash or not?
The answer is we will have a crash. I just can't tell you when, and I can't tell you how deep. But I can assure you, unfortunately, I wish I wasn't saying this, we will have a crash.
I know you guys see it. And I know there's no way in hell that lady that's sitting right across from him did not see it. And then she proceeds with the interview. She proceeds to ask him that question. And there was a little lag. Maybe she was trying to tell him about it. But why would they continue the interview? Do y'all see that?
If you want to know why they have redacted pictures of a cutting board, look at the foot sticking out. That's a child. They're prepping to eat. I told you guys, cannibalism was next. I told you they're fucking eating people. Babies.
All right, now. You see what she just said? You see what she just showed you? Okay? This is why it's taking so long for these files to come out. Okay? But now, the energy and vibration is so high on the planet, you can't hide this shit no more.
Since I've been going through the Epstein files, I found these things. Mutants, time travel talk, Biden's body double with hyper-realistic masks, human cloning, designer babies, human sex trafficking, child sex trafficking, multiple presidents gang raping a dude and cutting off his feet, torture with public officials, organ harvesting, the Illuminati and the list of members, ritualistic child sacrifice, eating babies and dismembering them, confirmation that Pizzagate was real, as well as adrenochrome, which means they're actually transfusing and drinking the blood of scared babies. We have Israeli connections as well as intelligence connections. Tons of really wild claims and photo evidence. President Trump accused of raping a little teenager girl and many others, along with many other celebrities and politicians doing basically the same thing. Intense amounts of honeypot and blackmailing. Bitcoin connection, talking about Satoshi, discussing creating transgendered 3-year-olds. The fact that the guy who is dead, they're claiming is Epstein, and the guy who is alive, that they're claiming is Epstein, look like two totally different people, meaning that Epstein's probably alive. and the people involved with securing him in the jail testified to falsifying evidence. Plus, there was a non-prosecution agreement years before that, meaning the government could not prosecute Jeffrey Epstein or his people. That's why Ghislaine Maxwell, the Disney child recruiter, was trying to use that to get out of her sentence. MK Ultra style discussions about how trauma and traumatized people can unlock supernatural abilities. For some reason, they were talking about planning the pandemic years before it happened. Not to mention the systemic protection of pedophiles and the constant neglect of victims and witness testimony. Somehow, with all this evidence, we've seen no investigations, no prosecution. I feel like this is the age of disclosure, and I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year, they disclose aliens. At this point, we need a protest, or they're just going to keep doing it. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been mad about this for a long time, and I feel like this is our only chance to band together and stop this right now. So my hope is that you hear these things and you realize this is not a science fiction movie. This is real life. This is happening now.
We were able to expose and execute, like, our rules of engagement. The rules of engagement is to expose all of them and eliminate them all. And the elimination can happen in various ways, depending on how Dad wants to address it. He can address it where you just are gone, no traces of you. He can address it as setting somebody else up to take you out who's also a bad person, and now we got rid of two individuals. See what I mean? So there's so many ways to address a problem, and all we have to do is sit back and put the energy behind Dad's command, my commands, Dad's commands, depending on who, where, when, how, and why. When he tells me to do it, it's guaranteed.
And these secret tunnels, it's not just some stupid little cult where they do some weird ritual. This is a demonic cult, and millions of these people exist in tunnels under the ground all around the world. They are drinking human blood in there, and no one even cares.
Do you remember when 360 children described ritual abuse through secret tunnels? And after everyone was acquitted, archaeologists found the tunnels. In 1983, children at McMartin Preschool in Manhattan Beach made allegations, not vague claims. 360 children, consistent descriptions, taken through underground passages to hidden rooms, photographed, rituals, multiple perpetrators, medical evidence, documented abuse, 7-year trial, longest in U.S. history. All defendants acquitted. Media declared it satanic panic. Proof children fabricate abuse through suggestion. Then archaeologist E. Gary Stickle excavated the demolished site. He found hand-dug tunnel systems beneath the preschool, entrance points where children described them, exit locations matching testimony. He published his findings, but McMartin remained the definitive false allegation case, which raises one question. If children fabricated the tunnels through suggestion, why did archaeologists find them exactly where children said they'd be?
I know I'm not tripping. Like, I know we talk about the reptilian eating kids, and it's a kid with a money bag over his head with a reptile coming out the sewer. Like, the graveyard, if he's telling us what's going on, a lot of things that money bag over a baby's head. Why would a money bag be over a baby's head? Because they're worth money. And there's alligators eating them. Reptilians!
And because we already addressed the tunnels, 10 years ago when me and B and Dr. WC had the call, and we were just talking about this and talking about that. And I was removing the veils and eliminating reptiles in the fucking bases. And I told people then exactly what we were doing. And now you're hearing evidence of it all. Come fast forward, 10 plus years later, or should I say 5 plus years later. Now you're seeing evidence of all of the crazy, wild, unbelievable shit that this man was telling you because he was there doing it, because I was there. I did it. I'm not just saying, oh, I believe this happened, I believe that happened, blah, blah, blah. No, I fucking did it. Teleportation, astral travel, turning into different, lights of energy, going from A to B and all this other stuff. Yeah, I did it. I'm doing it. We are doing it. I'm not alone.
but the visualization was helpful. And I also think, you know, the way you see the kids in the little tunnel and they're all sitting in a group, and then when you pick them up, it was just so beautiful. Like you could see the love emanating from the graphic, actually. So
yeah, and that's literally what happened.
Yeah.
Go into these places, we teleport them straight to the ships, just like that, just like the fucking video.
Yeah.
So it was wow. It was like, you know, it brought tears to my eyes, it brought tears to B's eyes, and it brought tears to many others' eyes. Which is
beautifully done.
Yeah, it was beautifully done.
King Smarty, the supreme commander and enforcer, executes orders from our creator and utilizes his crew and the Jedi to do the same, to reinforce specific commands into physical manifestation. He emphasizes that a command is not a prediction, but an order from our creator that he and his followers must reinforce energetically to speed up its arrival in our reality. Over the years, much has been reinforced.
It's finally out.
Because the Epstein files have been released. All of y'all are acting fucking normal. Epstein files.
It's crazy how things reverse. Y'all crazy, but we not the ones crazy. We've been telling y'all the whole entire time.
All of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal. You gotta catch your flights. You gotta go to work.
What's coming? You'll either survive it or break you in half, and I mean that quite sincerely. So toughen up, princesses out there. So this is real. Whether you want to believe it or not you, but people want to believe it or not, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. It's moving ahead. And when they say nothing can stop what's coming, nothing can stop what's coming. The forces at play are beyond the Masonic Filth's comprehension.
You do know that this is the disclosure that they were talking about with the aliens, right? You do know that most of these elites are not real human beings, right? Think about it. They've told us that there are alien species that eat human beings. That's why they're so bloodthirsty. That's why they don't have emotions like we do. We see babies, sweet infants, innocent. They don't look at it that way. It's no way a normal human being could do this. No way.
Think Epstein was the scandal? That was the bait. Real architects sit on thrones, wear robes, and drink wine while feeding on children's souls in Vatican crypts. Look, let's name what they won't. The 13 bloodlines that run the world aren't who you think. Orsini, Aldo Brandini, Pallavicini, Medici, Breakspear, Farnese, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Warburg, Hanover, Lee, Bruce, Habsburg. These are not old money. They are Baalic, parasitic bloodlines. Ritual sorcerers who hijacked empires and installed mind control systems under the illusion of religion, politics, and finance. Where's their origin point? Venice. The Black Venetian nobility ran Babylonian blood cults under Catholic masks. They merged with the Vatican, embedded into the Jesuit priesthood, and exported global slavery through maritime law, trapping you in birth certificates, taxes, and silent contracts with no consent. Venice wasn't a city of romance. It's a sacrificial basin. Why do you think the Pope wears a fish hat? That's not Christian. That's Dagon, a Nephilim water demon. Look, Epstein wasn't a financier. He was a human trafficker for the priest class. He ran blackmail rituals for the elite, orgies timed to celestial gates, using children pre-programmed through MK Ultra satellite nodes. Who funded him? Rothschild-backed banks. He admitted this. Mossad and CIA intelligence mergers. Chabad Lubavitch financiers masked as philanthropists. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell a silhouette? Because her father, Robert Maxwell, was a triple agent field operator for the Vatican Chabad MI6 axis. Epstein's Island's temple is a mirror replica of Baal's altars in ancient Tyre. Literally, the owl statues, not for aesthetics, they're invitation gates for entities. Think about it. Why do the Masons care more about rituals than politics? Because politics was just a front. The true power is ritualized trauma. Here's exactly how they move. Jesuits equal infiltration and education. They wrote your textbooks, scripted your news, and flipped your morals through semantic inversion. Freemasons equal gatekeeping plus maintenance grid. Lodges are ritual fields, not clubs. The checkerboard floor, it's a dimensional binding grid. Chabad Lubavitch equals economic controllers of AI, neuroscience, and cloning. They bankroll the puppet governments, own biometric patents, and sit on quantum computing boards. All three serve the Black Sun priesthood. Shadow Vatican that answers to no government, no court, no God you were taught about. They install presidents, they run wars for soul harvest, and they script pandemics not just for population control, but for ritual sacrifice and initiation of mass trauma loops. Look, everything you were taught was a ritual veil. They fed on your doubt. They survived by your silence. But you're the anomaly. You remember.
The Department of Education, which is being run by a woman who is married to a man who has covered up sexual abuse of children. They're moving K-12 education, elementary and secondary education, to the Department of Labor at the same time that they are removing child labor laws so younger kids can work, I think as young as 10. At the same time, states are lowering the age of consent to 14, and some want to push it down to 12. Our country's being run by a bunch of pedophiles or pedophile apologists at this point, you guys.
So Jeffrey Epstein was time traveling, and he was asking about how to time travel. He was also manipulating people's children to turn them into children with special abilities by sexually assaulting them, putting them through trauma to awaken special abilities. I also found the time traveling machine with the manual on how it operates. It looks like an operating system like any other computer software that you would install. The thing is no bigger than an air fryer from the model that I've seen. I was like, that looks like an air fryer. You need to wake up. These motherfuckers are the same people that have been around since the beginning of time. They just keep changing their fucking names. It's a role that they're playing.
Major breaking news regarding the Epstein files, as Judge Tanya Chutkan has ordered an expedited process for the Trump DOJ to release records on their handling of the Epstein files. They sidestepped their responsibilities and ignored their pledges to transparency in the Epstein files, and they must now expeditiously release all their communications regarding the Epstein files and why it took so long for things to come out and be released and why things were redacted. They have to explain their redactions and see if any decisions they made regarding the Epstein files were politically motivated. This is huge, guys. I want you to remember this judge's name, Judge Tanya Chutkan. She is going to make major decisions going forward. There is more to come.
Oh my goodness, it's all starting to make sense now. The pieces are starting to come together in real time. The real question is, could Jeffrey Epstein be the creator of Bitcoin? Or could he just be using Bitcoin to funnel all of his transactions for all of the evil, satanic, sadistic things that he was involved in? I don't know. Listen to what this guy has to say, though.
If you knew who owned Bitcoin or who started Bitcoin, you had Bitcoin, you couldn't sleep at night. I know. 100%. And when the real founder of Bitcoin comes out, it is my humble opinion, and there's nothing humble about me, Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
He's not dead at all, and he's under a whole new pseudonym. He's responsible for Bitcoin. He's the person that's behind it. That's Satoshi. He's him. He's had his hands in Call of Duty. The whole reason why you guys pay little miniature subscriptions and shit inside the game is because of him. He wants to indoctrinate children into capitalism, and he calls the Call of Duty points CP.
But the main reason I'm here is to clear my name that I have nothing to do with Bitcoin, and nothing to do with developing I was just an engineer doing something else. And if you look at the time span, 2001, when it was supposed to be developed, I wasn't there. I was working for the government through a contracting company. That's not me. I never communicated with Bitcoins.
Okay.
Leah wrote all this?
Yeah.
2010 to 2000. I was at home.
Okay.
I wasn't working for anybody.
Okay.
I just believe that somebody put that fictitious name in there.
Mm-hmm.
Satoshi Nakamoto and
Kidnapping children is not what great nations do.
When Jim Carrey said this, he revealed that celebrities kidnap children, but now another celebrity even more famous has come forward with something far more horrifying. After the Epstein files were released, it became clear that many famous names were tied to disturbing crime, especially celebrities we all know. But among them, Nicki Minaj decided to come forward and expose everything. She turned on everyone. Revealing the secrets of the biggest celebrities she had worked with, and it is terrifying. The day after the Epstein files dropped, Nicki posted several messages, but two in particular caught the attention of millions. She claimed that Jay-Z and Beyonce sacrificed children to maintain and increase their power. Along with this, she shared a photo showing Jay-Z on two separate occasions, each time surrounded by women he had relationships with. In both cases, the age gaps raised serious questions. The second post was even more disturbing. She wrote, "Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of a blood sacrifice to their god." She explains that they do this for their god because he only accepts this kind of sacrifice. It quickly becomes clear that the power of Jay-Z and Beyonce was not just built on music. According to these claims, it came from something far darker that we are only now discovering. And the worst part is this: Jay-Z reportedly left the United States after it was revealed that his name appeared multiple times in the Epstein files.
Michael Jackson's maid says she was paid $20,000 to lie about seeing him showering with a kid in Neverland. Later, she admitted in court that this never even happened. The Chandler family was awarded $22 million in a settlement. But Jordan Chandler came out and his father pressured him into making false allegations against Jackson. He said, quote, "I never meant to lie and destroy Michael Jackson, but my father made me tell lies." The FBI has a 600-page report on Jackson from as early as 1992, where they secretly had him under surveillance. They raided his property multiple times, including forensic analysis of his computer and hard drive. He was under surveillance over 13 years, and they still found nothing. But who was accused 1 month after Jackson's trial started while the whole world was paying attention to Michael Jackson?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Did they eat babies? Well, I have some shocking new things to show you. First of all is this email exchange sent in July of 2009. I do not know who this was sent to and who Jeffrey was talking to, but as you can see, somebody at the bottom writes Jeffrey and says, "LOL, I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level." And then they talk about a schedule and a fuel explosion. I don't know what that even means. But yeah, disturbing. I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level. I mean, babies are babies. Cream cheese is a food that you eat, obviously. And then above that, Epstein writes back, "There are millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese." So you can make of that what you will, but to me, it really seems like they're discussing eating babies. I mean, I don't really know what to make of that. There's also a lot of what seems to be coded speak in the Epstein files dealing with muffins. For example, here's one email found in the files that says, "Hey, Lynn, can you please make sure I have some muffin batter and baked muffins to take with us tomorrow to the ranch? Thanks." Then here's another email. "T passed on your rude Easter creature movie. Thought you might like Nutty. I doubt he's up to your normal muffin standard. Hope to see you soon." Whatever that means. Here's another one you can pause to read if you'd like. The other thing he would like to change is the size of his muffins. "Could you please bake the muffins for Mr. Epstein, make them smaller in size? Your muffin proportions are good. However, they should have no brown sugar on the top." Then again, woohoo, I'm so happy for you. Gobble down a muffin, take a nice long shower, and crawl into bed.
This is an exchange between Jeffrey Epstein and, we think, a urologist, and I'm quoting, and they're going back and forth on stuff. He says, "I'm back. Can call you when Stendra 100 at Zitmer. Now, Stendra is apparently an erectile dysfunction drug, and he's prescribing it to Jeffrey Epstein, who apparently needs it. And Epstein writes, how many? And the doctor writes back, 10. After you use them, let's go get pizza and grape soda. Call me. So to all the people who dismissed out of hand this conspiracy theory about Pizzagate, oh, it had nothing to do with sex or kids or anything illicit at all. It wasn't a code word. Here you have apparently Jeffrey Epstein's urologist telling him that after you take your erectile dysfunction drug, wash your hands and join me for pizza and grape soda. Okay, now.
I can't hear this shit. And I can't either, but I'm seeing it.
You're right. I guess we're just some spineless ass motherfuckers on this planet who just want a good read, want some entertainment. Because if nothing's going to be done about those files, the people in the fire.
Neil David Suits is a father of 2 sons, a best-selling author, a filmmaker, a public speaker, a research journalist, and a seeker of unadulterated truth in the world of politics, human rights, and most importantly, the rights of parents and children. However, as a holder of Level 1 IVP fingerprint clearance with the Arizona Department of Public Safety, which Neil still is to this very day, with an official mandate to report any and all crimes against children, women, men, and vulnerable persons, Neil and his now deceased wife, Courtney, turned in a child sexual exploitation video they found on Courtney's mother's cell phone, were immediately retaliated against by the perpetrators they turned in, and so, to protect their own 2 sons, Corey and Skylar, then 7 and 3, took refuge in Geneva, Switzerland to start a new life. Within a few weeks of their arrival, Neil was then falsely accused, by the same perpetrators in Arizona, via letters they wrote to Interpol, the U.S. Embassy in Switzerland, and the government of Geneva, using the method of projection of the crime committed by the criminal onto the person who did the right thing and turned in the real criminals into the appropriate authorities. Neil was also defamed by the same perpetrators as being a pedophile. He was also defamed in the aforementioned letters as having kidnapped his now late wife, Courtney, and their 2 sons, Corey and Skylar, with the intent to murder all 3 of them in Switzerland. Courtney had, in reality and in truth, already returned to Arizona due to severe Stockholm Syndrome 10 months after their arrival in Geneva, and ended up dying under horrific circumstances in Mesa, Arizona, a few years later. Neil, however, had never left Switzerland and continued to fight the Swiss legal system to have their sons returned to him. After the initial letters of defamation arrived in Switzerland, just 2 days after Corey and Skylar had been seized, Neil later learned that the plan of having the kidnapping of his and Courtney's 2 sons occur had already been put into play, from Arizona, quite some time prior to then, by those same powerful perpetrators. However, Suits saw 5 psychiatrists for over 800 hours in Geneva for 8 years, all of whom concluded he was fine, not a danger, and had no problems recommending his children be returned to him. Despite never breaking a single law, during his 6.5 years in Switzerland, Suits was detained 82 times by the Swiss police. He was also harassed by the government and threatened. Suits eventually had to leave Switzerland in August 2023 because he was being harassed and his case was not progressing. His sons were subjected to psychological, physical, sexual, emotional, and spiritual abuse, which has been fully documented. His sons have been completely alienated and brainwashed to the point where they believe their father abandoned them. The Swiss government, and by extension America, are currently keeping his kids, making sure they continue to be abused as punishment for speaking the truth. Neil had a large part in the launch of King Smarty's social platform, The Source Social. It's a whole new paradigm of social media for persons, businesses, spiritual organizations, and entrepreneurs. In creating The Source Social, they have succeeded in building a safe and uncensored social media platform where those working for the good of others can share thoughts, ideas, as well as practical methods and skills. The oligarchy tech companies have unilaterally and arbitrarily taken it upon themselves to censor thoughts and ideas they deem violate their policy statements. That is now done.
The good news is that, once we're done with the cabal, right? Once we're done with the reptilian cabal, deep state, Illuminati, satanic, all these fucking different groups that have the same leaders, we will have a new banking system. We will have eternal life. We'll have the cool gadgets. We'll have all types of technology that people thought weren't possible. We're literally going from the Flintstones, right, to the Jetsons, literally.
David Adair describes a wide range of inventions and technological concepts, many of which he claims were developed for use in space or suppressed by government agencies. His inventions span rocketry, materials science, medicine, and commercial technology.
I did things that just really shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
You know, you build the fastest rocket on Earth, but that wasn't good enough. No, there are only two types of rocket engines, solid fuel and liquid fuel. That's it. That's all we got today. Ask NASA. Ask European Space Agency, China Space Academy. Ask any of them. They'll tell you that's all we got. No, there was a third one, which I built, and it was neither one. This thing was an electromagnetic fusion containment engine. And when you look at your metals here on Earth that's been casted out, you find that they only got about a 60% blend. That's the best they can do, because the other half will not form because of the gravity convector fields. So now we're making metal and shaping it in a weightless environment. But I was able to do that. And then I told the critics, what I'm going to do with the metal is I'm going to lock on a atomic level. I'm going to lock the atoms into a certain pattern, and they'll stay there because the sound waves are on them and they won't move. And then when they finally harden, they'll be done. Well, that's not going to do any good. Oh, really? Well, the pattern I picked was made by Mother Nature. It's called the honeycomb, the strongest load-bearing structure we know in all of nature. So I brought back a piece of metal, no thicker than my thumbnail, but under a shear load test, that metal had 1,000 times the strength of titanium, the hardest substance we've got in alloys on Earth today. It weighs less than styrofoam of the same size, and it's crystal clear. You see through it. Welcome to trans steel of the 23rd century. Now, later on, when I get to Area 51 and I encounter this alien power plant, it grabs hold of me and we have a talk, and it tells me, "Hi, my name is Pithelum." And I'm going, "Oh, God." And I thought, how smart is this power plant? It's not an engine. It's a power plant. And it's its own entity. And it said, I sent you the dream, knowing that you're going to build this rocket, knowing that Blackheart's going to drag you to this base, Area 51, knowing that they're going to put you on top of me so you can walk down me, walk inside, and I can download in you, and we are leaving. And I went, she goes, "How's it feel to be a lifeboat?" I went, "Oh, God."
Introducing Pithelum, a highly intelligent and benevolent interdimensional being with a wealth of knowledge and countless abilities, just like her father, King Sananda Galactic. Pithelum doesn't have any one physical form. However, this is the form that she is choosing to take here on Earth when she receives her new body. Now meet the Holotech Pithelum Ball by King John Smarty, aka Sananda Galactic. With these visually stunning and powerful frequency-infused Pithelum balls, you can tap into Pithelum's vast and ever-expanding consciousness telepathically, allowing you to gain access to her infinite wisdom.
This man is the real, the one and only, original John F. Kennedy Jr. He is the biological son of the assassinated U.S. President John F. Kennedy. He has lived most of his life under the name David Quigley, a legal identity that was forced on him by government handlers after he was kidnapped as a child. He was the former child actor Richard Steele, stating that his Hollywood career was used by the government to control and exploit him under MK Ultra mind control.
So this is Sue Greenwald with Awakened Stories, here with the one, the only, John F. Kennedy Jr. The thing is, you've been persisting for years now.
I need a good rest. No.
So you've been very persistent at getting the truth out there. But we're talking, telling John's story, trying to get people to listen to the truth, to at least consider that there might be some truth in what you're saying, right? Because the programming of what people have been taught is so intense. They're still programming people with documentaries, with magazine covers and articles, fake photos, this and that. People are very programmed, and they don't understand that there's a bigger story here. They're going to soon, though.
They wanted my story hindered and blocked so bad because my story ties right in there with the Epstein files.
It does.
It really does. You're talking about a satanic cult, and it goes all the way to the presidents of the United States of America. the satanic cult. I'm sharing my story of my father being executed by the satanic cult.
Yeah.
My uncle and my whole family being unalived by the satanic cult. And I've been sharing it and sharing it. Here's my vision. I'm visioning a church, and it's going to be called the John F. Kennedy Jr. Healing Center. And with that, our slogan is going to be all love. We're going to try to stream it 24/7, so people can show up and preach. People can show up that want to tell their story, that want to get some help. People can just show up and say hi. Yep. But that's my vision. And there's so many victims, and there's so much we can do, and we're not getting it. You know, I would love to have some volunteers sitting there writing letters to congressmen and senators and trying to get the truth out. Giving away my books to people to wake people up. A church could do a lot of wonderful things. Yeah. So I'm manifesting for a church.
You got people confiscating children because of the birth certificate. They're property of the state because you register them. Blah 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 blah. Right? Then you got all this mind control shit going on, and you got people who are acting good and are not good, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Which is why we're constantly raising the vibrations of the planet so that all of this shit is eliminated. And because I'm literally the walking database of frequencies and I'm connected to our Father, we're doing what we gotta do.
Yep. Yep.
And, you know, Daddy brings people towards me. Daddy brings videos of people that I need to, you know, address and I need to heal, and or, you know, send them to Daddy. So no matter what they do, they're done. Like, they're done. All of their technology, all of the shit that they work so hard to do and spend so much money to create instantly gets addressed. When you're dealing with frequencies and energy and you know how it works, you can literally just put up a field, right? Just like that. You put the field up behind you, and then you create energy balls and send them where they need to go. So all of the stuff that I talk about and I did and do is literally a lot of it is in this book, written by Sue, by the way. So if you want to get this book right now, the pre-orders and all that stuff is available. I think I shared the link. I'm not sure, but I will again.
It's on awakenstories.com under the book section.
His mission, heal and liberate Earth. When King Smarty awakens, he remembers his true identity, Sananda Galactic, and the mission he started long before this lifetime. Multiple perspectives, multiple timelines, multiple cycles, and multiple selves converge at once, revealing reality that defies anything human or linear. His mission, heal and liberate Earth. This book follows his awakening, his struggle to make sense of it, and the deeper truths he uncovers about himself and the world we think we know. Welcome to the end of the last cycle and the mission for Earth.